Sometimes we're so busy or we're so focused on the huge picture of what you want to be in 5-10 years that we miss the little opportunities that actually navigate us there.
Definitely.
Hello and welcome to Truth on a Pedestal, a podcast solely dedicated to talking about how businesses are started and how brands are built. Today, I'm so excited to have with me at the first ever podcast, Natasha Wilton from the jewellery brand By Natasha Wilton. It is a Gold Filled Jewellery label that has the most exquisite range, and we are going to speak about how Natasha got to this level. So hello, welcome.
Hi Justine.
How are you feeling today?
Good. Feeling excited, especially for your first ever episode.
I know. Well, I'm so excited to hear about your story because, and I've brought you onto this podcast because I feel like, you were a busy mum that was already jam-packed, but you had this idea and you wanted to do something for yourself and you did it.
Yes.
And the notes in your story that we spoke before the podcast, I'm really excited for people to hear and how you did it and just to inspire other women that they can live a part of their life, even if their life is so jam-packed already.
Yes.
Now, I really do believe that every journey and every story for a business owner, like where they come from in life, their like the first 10 years of their life really does. It tells the story of who they are, and it really affects the decisions that they make and why 100%. They want to do things. So I want to hear, take it all the way back to the beginning, your background. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing and.
Well, we'll go back, rewind about 36 years. So I grew up in Box Hill in Melbourne, eastern suburbs, and my parents actually came over from Malaysia before I was born. And my mum is Chinese, Malaysian, my dad's Indian. So they're quite an interesting couple, I guess, international, interracial mix. And my sister and I grew up sort of grappling with that of being, migrant children in quite a white society, but also trying to stay true to our heritage, but also fit in with the rest of the kids and people around us. So I think that whole identity thing, we could talk about that for another 6 hours. That's
identity
a whole other
crisis.
story. Yes, identity crisis. But definitely my creative side was always there, and I think I inherited it from my Chinese side, my grandma Mary. She's so beautiful. She's had so many children.
How many?
She's had 10 kids. And she is just such a beautiful soul. She's who inspires me. So we used to make a lot of crafts together when she visited from Malaysia. And I always loved to create. I did a lot of different hobbies, always making things. But I guess coming from an Asian background, it was more promoted as a hobby, something you can do, but, your career would be something that pays well, that's more secure, and the artistic creative side wasn't pushed as much. Like my parents were wonderful. They sent me to lots of art classes. So after school, instead of going to sports, I was like doing pottery, drawing classes. I was that girl with like the perfectly lined up pencil case. I knew every single colour and, everything was kept very carefully.
Your true passion.
Yeah, my true passion is colours. So I wanted to be a graphic designer or artist or a chef, cook more, creative. And then throughout the years, I also love cooking. I love science, and I guess my dad is a scientist. So I ended up being nudged more towards going to be a dietitian. So I actually studied in Wagga in the country. So I left home to study to be a dietitian, but the passion for creativity still was there. And I guess it came out more in my cooking and my food, a few little hobbies that I did. I set up 2 businesses with like a uni friend and then a work colleague later that were more crafty. So I kind of always have a side hustle.
Okay.
But since building my own jewellery business, that's a different story. I sort of dropped the hustle word and I focus more on it being an actual brand. Like I'm not hustling anymore. It's not like a side thing. It's 24/7. It's literally all night, all day. And, that's giving it what it deserves.
Yeah.
Because it's not a side project anymore. So it's
so you
a little
came
bit of the
from
story.
I mean that whole identity crisis thing, and then you've got this this drive for creativity that you never. It sounded like you never really like locked it away.
No,
like you kept it a little bit
bubbling.
alive. But then you wanted to please your parents, which like one of my best friends is Chinese, and she's a single child, and you do things, and I've seen it through her that you need to do the right thing, and
you want to honor them, and
exactly. So you went to uni to do the
I went to uni
and
and ended up meeting a lot of wonderful friends there, and then I met my husband
at uni.
It's funny, at uni, Wagga, our uni, there's a big hill in the middle. On one side are all the chalkies, we call them, and they are people that study we use a board, and you write on the whiteboard, so you're more I guess theory based, and then on the other side of the hill are all the agriculture, the vet science, more outdoors, hands-on people. So my husband Steve was on that side of the hill, and I was on the chalky side.
Another identity crisis all over again.
I was like, how did I come home with a farmer boy from Bega, an Asian girl from the city, and a farmer boy, country boy? We shocked a lot of people, but we just clicked, and that's the reward of, I guess, leaving home. I was a bit nervous, but it was really great. I think we look back now, we're so happy we met, and we came back to Melbourne.
Well, leaving home to study, it is a big step. I think in life you took a chance there, and you kind of, I feel like every time you take a chance in life or jump in the deep end, you kind of like build yourself up a little bit more, and you build this like layer that's thicker, more and more confidence to take even a bigger step. And
I think for a family, we were very close knit, so the expectation is you stay home until you get married, like 35 or 45. 45 is good. So leaving home at 18 was a really big deal. But it was, a really great time of flourishing, of finding my own voice and own style. Even the way I dress, I sort of expressed myself differently. I had a lot of turquoise green eyeliner going on, but
that's coming back.
It's coming back.
You can rock it
before my time.
It kind of feels weird doing it again. You're like, I've been there, I've done that, I've thrown them away already.
Well, our hairdresser said he's seen the mullet come back 3 times round. He's quite senior, but I was like, wow, mullets, they can go again. You don't need that in our life.
I'm hoping the mullets are out by the time my son is a teenager, so I do not have to look at him with a mullet. Well, I love that. I love like listening to the stories. It sounded like you did have a really beautiful, supportive family as well. So, and even though they expected you to, I guess, go down more of the science line, the support maybe didn't like stop you from boxing up your true creativity.
Very supportive, and I got to be the dietitian. Like my heart, I still love being a dietitian. I work with kids now, and it's been 10 years of, I guess, working with families and adults going through their nutrition goals and how to support them with any medical concerns. So that part of me is still really bright, and then I have like split down the middle. I'm sort of, the other half is that creative, a bit more spontaneous, and wanting to keep moving and designing and meeting with creative people. I love like
the creative industry.
Other creative ideas.
It's a bit addictive, the creative industry.
We're very spur of the moment people, I think. We just roll with it.
So. I feel like there's just like a lot of energy and excitement all the time.
It can be exhausting.
So you still are a dietitian now? And you still work. All right. So you, we'll take it back a little bit to kind of that career phase, because I also feel like, that kind of that lead up towards starting By Natasha Wilton. So you finished uni, working as a dietitian, and what's that gap between your working? You had met your husband. You've got 3 children.
Yes, I do.
Yep. So what are their? Their names? I don't know. You want to expose your children on a podcast?
I have 3 kids. So, my oldest is 7. Her name's Olive. And then I have Ezra, our little boy. And then the youngest is Violet. So she was born a couple of days before the first Melbourne lockdown. So she's pretty much like used to being at home in ISO, a lot of Netflix, a lot of loungewear.
A lot of like mum guilt.
Yeah. And she's very cuddly out of all three. I think being together for those 2 years in 4 walls has shaped her. We're all really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having them kind of ignited again the need in me to have a creative outlet.
Yeah.
So when I had Olive, I actually went through quite a traumatic labour, and about within 48 hours of having her, I had a panic attack and then went into a deep sort of depression, anxiety. Wow. It was really confronting for my whole family.
Yeah.
It was quite sudden, the onset. So I ended up having to go into hospital, like full-on check-in into a psych hospital, mother and baby unit. And it was quite pivotal for me. I guess I, have a family who are believers. We believe in God. We lean on our faith, and we had to really grapple with the fact that you can get mental illness and still be a Christian. It's not like you're not going to experience any hardship in your life. No. Sometimes, it feels like, wow, you're getting hit by a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But it strengthened us as a family and our faith. So going through that with Olive, when I came home and I was recovering, thank goodness, I ended up starting a business with my friend who was a dietitian, and we called it Crazy Like Fox, and it was like my second entrepreneurial pursuit. I had another one before that. I'm always doing something. But yeah, at night
it sounds like really what you're like, I need to run my own business.
Yes, I need an output. I need to be able to tick the list.
My thing.
Yeah. And I think because when you have kids, they're very unpredictable. It did not sit well with me when I used to be very planned out.
Yeah.
They actually said to me, are you a perfectionist? And I'm like, actually, on reflection, maybe I was, because I wanted to be in control and want to know when is she going to wake up? When is she going to need a feed? How much? And they're like, dude, you haven't even done the first 2 days of being a mother. Like, you want to know, what happens every single minute, and it's not like that. You got to run with it.
Usually, as creators, like a lot of us fall into this like artist personality role, and the opposite spectrum of that is perfection. So like when we're not in a good place, we go to this perfection phase, and then when we're not in a good place, we're like arty party, and this is awesome. And but when we're down, we're just
it's so flat.
It's just not good.
Not good. And it really was, really dark time. I think Steve said I mentioned a lot of things that he hasn't even told me because it was just like, it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
So, and I knew I was unwell. So once I was in that recovery mode, at nighttime I started making things, and then we had our online business, and it was a way to connect to other women.
Is that with the dietitian, the dietitian?
Yeah, with my dietitian friend Meredith. We're both quite creative, so we were making things, and I guess it was a way of me having some control over my day. And feeling productive. Yeah. I guess raising children, you don't see the outcome like instantly. You're sort of planting seeds. You're sort of even just keeping them fed and well and alive is a goal and a tick that box today.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah. But with the business, it was like, okay, I need to make 4 headbands. I need to send this out. And that satisfied that need in me and gave me a lot of joy. Yeah. So I think that was where it was all started to come, that you reached back into that creativity, and that was healing you as well. Yeah, it was healing, so healing.
So Olive was really young when you started By Natasha Wilton.
Yes.
What was, like, we'll go a little bit into how you started the business. Yeah. So in a nutshell, from idea to launch, how long did it take?
So I guess from the idea was planted there by a company in New York. So I was doing a little bit of influencing when I was on maternity leave. Yeah. See, I can't sit still. There's a problem there. Anyway, my friend and I, my dear friend, she and I used to take photos for each other, and we were just sort of playing around on Instagram, sharing what we're doing, sharing and supporting businesses. And a company approached me to design some rings. Yeah. So they actually started the process. I sort of launched By Natasha Wilton under his brand as a collaboration. And then COVID hit, and the factory that were making our rings in New York closed down. So I took over as the business owner and I just changed it all. I designed the jewellery, the packaging, the website, all while I'm breastfeeding my baby. I'm like going on my phone on Shopify, building it.
See, you can build a website on your phone, on Shopify. Yes, of course you need a website designer, but no, you don't. You do not. You do not need a website person to build a website these days.
Yes.
It actually is possible to do it yourself.
Yeah.
YouTube, Google it. They've made some incredible platforms that are so easy to get on, and sometimes you don't need to be perfect. You just need to like get online
on there.
And that starts the motions. And,
exactly.
Learn how to be the business owner. So to speak.
Just grow into it.
Yeah.
And so that's where it all started. I guess it was a year of working with that New York business, and then I took over after that. And I kind of loved being my own boss because every single order I've received the last 2 years, I've written a little love note with every single one. I love connecting with the customer, even if it's one order a week or 10 a day. I just really want to build that connection and thank them because it really impacts my family to get this little, someone clicked my website.
Someone purchased. I love how it started though. Like it wasn't you sitting there going, I'm going to start a jewellery business and kind of figuring out it. It just kind of happened and you saw an opportunity.
Overnight kind of.
And you just thought, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity. And that's a lot in business where, we sometimes we're so busy or we're so focused on the huge picture of what, you want to be in 5-10 years that we miss the little opportunities that are actually navigate us there.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think building a lot of connection with other small businesses online. So I've connected with a wonderful fashion label called Sacred Circus and we've really clicked. Yes. Her creations are beautiful and lots of other amazing businesses that we spur each other on and inspire each other and share what we know. So even, the back end of, how did you, SEO, don't even talk about that.
How code?
Yeah, how do you do that? And how do you do Facebook ads and that sort of thing? There's such a vibrant...
It is.
Community.
It's small businesses helping other small businesses.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
A lot of time people might think that you need to be in competition with somebody even in the same industry, but you don't.
No, not at all. Yeah.
There's enough people out there to support them all and businesses close and open all the time. It's when you're a small business, you don't have, a lot of people don't have the budget for a web developer to do that all for them. So connecting with people that are at the same stage is great. And it helps your business. It helps form your little, I guess, like your business friends, your business community.
Definitely. And you can grow together and shine together. And I think sometimes you just want to bounce off your thoughts to someone or you might get a weird DM or something. You're like, oh, what does this mean? Like, who is this person asking for this? So you sort of have a colleague in many ways. So I love that.
Love that. So you didn't start your business with a business plan or a 5-year plan. Like it just started. Yes. And as you said, you built your business on midnight feeds.
It was very organic. It sort of just rolled along. And I did have a, sort of a vision of what I'd like the consumer to receive when they do shop with me. I want it to be heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my friends, we don't buy jewellery for ourselves very often. So when they did purchase, I wanted it to really be meaningful. Yeah. And I know a lot of women, they were saving up just to buy one thing. Yeah. Or, they're planning, okay, in October, it's my birthday, I'm dreaming of that piece. And they're willing to wait and make it was very considered. Yeah. So I really spent a lot of time like wanting the packaging to be beautiful and to really treasure even the unboxing experience and what you get with the package. Yeah.
So everything about your brand is about like making the user or the person who has it just feel special.
Yes,
really.
Definitely. Yeah. And that they're loved and it is a treasure that they can keep. And because it is gold filled, it can last longer. Yeah. It's got a higher level of gold in it. So if you have allergies, it sits well on the skin. It doesn't make your skin turn green. And also you can wear it in water. It's tarnish resistant. So it really is like for longevity. Yeah. And it's still luxurious and beautiful. So that was what I wanted to portray. I think that was the base vision for the business. And because I'm a mum as well, I rarely change my jewellery. I just put it on and then
until it falls off and you lose it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, kid swipes it off or my mask flicks it off. That's happened a few times. Yeah. But I just want it to be really user-friendly, but beautiful mums and women, you want to treat yourself with something special.
What I love about your product is that you've really tapped into the sustainability part of jewellery. There's a lot of fast fashion, fast jewellery out there that we do give into because it's beautiful and it's trending. Not all of us can afford 100% gold jewellery, and we see it out there. We see it on the influencers, and we want to be part of it and part of the scene or fitting in. And it's just not a reality for a lot of people. So then you might go and buy the gold plated, but that gets scratched. That can affect your skin. After a while, it just ends up in landfill. So this gold filled jewellery, it's long lasting. It's affordable. It's interchangeable. You can layer it.
And it's hypoallergenic and tarnish resistant. So you can literally put it on, forget about it, go swimming. And it's great for, mum life. You don't have to take it off. You can sleep in it. Everything is just a lot more straightforward, but still beautiful, and you can treasure it for much longer. So even down to the packaging, I really wanted the consumer or the customer to enjoy the whole unboxing experience, but also be able to reuse the boxes. So I've had someone let me know that they planted seedlings in there.
Did they put it in
you can use the foam, but
the foam bit.
You
can put the seed in the foam,
or you can take it out and it's like a nice little trinket dish. And I know like a lot of little young women would just keep lots of little treasures in there and little keepsakes.
Oh, my daughter would literally pack it up with all the little tiny things and just carry it around until it composted in her hand.
Basically, it can be recycled. But they're just something to keep and to treasure your jewellery in. But even down to the packing tape that I use, it's from Woodruff and Co. So that is a compostable water-based tape. And then the boxes are recyclable, the paper. I sort of really wanted to make sure the footprint of the brand was as light as possible. I know it's very hard to be, zero, but trying our best to do as much as I could to,
And how did you go about finding these packages?
A lot of late night Googling, a lot of, Instagram research, asking other brands or some of my friends.
Your brand colleagues.
My colleagues, yes. And just, a lot of Google searches. And I have a wonderful friend who's also based in Melbourne who created my trinket dishes and all my signage. She is amazing, a Mandala Life, and she does all the laser cut work and she's a creative genius. Yes, she helped me with a lot of my thank you cards and these beautiful displays, so she can take my crazy ideas and make it into something magical. So just leaning on each other and just kind of supporting each other. So I guess if they do some work with me, we often tag each other, and that's a way of expanding our community, showing a bit of love. It's like cross-promotion, I guess, which is a great thing I recommend for a lot of new businesses and emerging businesses.
100%.
Get a good team and you can cheer each other along.
Cross-promotion is so important, especially with trying to get that social reach. And the bigger brands would have a marketing company that do the cross-promotion for them, and they would basically organise and do all their marketing. But again, startup businesses, you kind of have to do it yourself. So having those brand colleagues and aligning yourself with businesses that are I guess have the same values, are in the same, I call them brand friends.
Yes,
whenever I'm doing branding, I'll be like, if you are the Gold Filled Jewellery, who's your brand friend that you want to associate yourself with, that you get along, and just helping out.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exciting.
So in business, things kind of like kids. I guess we talk about kids a lot in this one. I think between us we've got 5, so we can't avoid it. You think you're going smoothly and then things happen. So what hurdles happened in the first year that almost made you give up?
So I think almost on a weekly basis.
Oh, great.
My husband will ride the wave of small business with me. I might get a beautiful DM from someone and I'll be flying high like, oh, this is so lovely. She bought this piece in memory of her mum or something really special, and that just warms my heart. And then in the same moment, I will panic and say, what have I done? I didn't get an order this week, or something else might just hit into my confidence a little bit, because I guess I am the brand. I don't have any one working for me at the moment. From the beginning to the end, I take the photos, I post the photos, I do the Instagram, package it, write the letters, take it to the post office. Yeah. And so it's all me. So I guess you put yourself out there, so the confidence sort of sways as it comes and goes. But generally, I think the things that hit me more is the back end admin, where I might think, oh, what's happening with Instagram? Why is the reach not that great this week? Or maybe they won't like this collection, which hasn't happened, but in your heart, I guess you're just feeling a bit vulnerable. Yeah. It's all you. But probably in the first year, one of the things that gave me a bit of a shake was paying import fees one time.
That hit you.
Yes, my hair clips that I ordered, quite a big amount, and I just did not know how things work. So that was a learning curve, knowing to budget for any customs fees and things that might be unexpected.
So that wasn't unprepared. Like, how was that unprepared?
So when it arrived in Melbourne, when it gets to our shores, then it's assessed, and they actually
just decide
how much more you have to pay.
Serious?
Which is new to me. Yeah.
And is it something that you could roughly budget for?
I think like some of my more experienced small business owners probably would shed better light. For me, I think there is standard amounts and weights. And then depends which country you brought it in from. I think there's a lot of brokers that you can work with, shipping brokers to help you with that process. But it was just me ordering, thinking
the whole process even makes me nervous.
Yeah, it was like 450 hair clips, and I was like, it's stuck there, and customs are saying if you don't pay this, we'll send it back. And so that just was a bit of a wake up call for me that this is big. Yes. It's not like I've ordered a tiny amount.
No, and you're not making it just at home and shipping out. Like, you actually depending on international shipping and custom fees. Yeah. That's when you know you actually
like this legit, man.
Yeah.
They're like, what's your trading name? I was like, By Natasha Wilton. And then this year, I thought I'd, keep upping the ante, I guess. Like I said before, it's not really a side hustle. No. So make this legit. I went through my accountant, and he's explaining to me, you need to cover yourself. You need to get insurance. Yes. Sometimes you don't know who your customers are, or, it rarely happens, but you just want to be careful. Okay. So making sure you cover yourself and get public liability insurances. So all that sort of back-end stuff, which is different. Yeah. I thrive in the creative, making jewellery, but I don't love the selling part or the collecting money part. I'd rather someone else did that. And
luckily,
also the
Shopify does it for you.
Yes.
I'm plugged in Shopify.
You can have it for free. I'm not good at that.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So the admin part, the idea, I guess, to launch a business or launch a product is so exciting, and you think, I'm going to ship it out, I'm going to be a millionaire in a week, and then you are there at night doing admin and running the business. Yeah. So there's that balance between business building, which is the admin, and then your brand, which is your photography, like what you're putting out on socials, how you are, like the people that you're interacting with, and so there's definitely that connection
different hats.
There. Yeah, different hats. And it's hard to wear both, but a lot of business owners have to.
Yeah.
Is there anybody really particular that has just been your wow person, that has helped you out, that you just, if you were standing on stage, you're like, hi, I'm By Natasha Wilton. Like, who would you just do the biggest call out to say, I couldn't have done it without you?
there's a number of them. I think because the journey's been, like for this brand itself, about a 2-year journey. It's coming up to its 2nd birthday. So definitely my community of women around me back at home, my mother's group, like they have been there along the way. My, friend Bronte, who helped me with imagery, and she's my model a lot of the time. She's my promo girl. She's
your Bronte.
We sort of chat, is this going to work? We have similar passions, and she's like my creative other half. So definitely, she was a big part in my journey, and taking a step back, even my family, encouraging creativity, and my grandma just making little crafts all the time, being particular about, how something is presented to others, even our food. Like it is a big part of our culture, and the presentation, it was all piecing together. So, but yeah, definitely even some of the women in my church family, there's just so many people, plus Sacred Circus. She's like been someone that we definitely click. Hair. I know. I always wonder how.
If you do not know Sacred Circus,
go follow her.
Go follow her and just look at her hair.
Yeah. And we are doing an event in May. So end of May, keep your eyes peeled on our socials, because it's going to be a fashion show event plus piercing party, so you can get all the bling that you've been hoping for during lockdown. We can finally get pierced, and it will be in St Kilda at the SB. So we're very excited to do that. So I think finding that creative partner along your journeys is someone in your corner. And that you can even just debrief with is so essential. So,
well, I'm coming to that event.
Yay! So, let's get you pierced.
Get me pierced. Re-pierce all the holes that have closed up over the years. That sounded a bit dodgy.
I'm like, here to here.
Oh God!
I mean, she is a full body piercer. If you really want to do, you can do anything with her.
I'm gonna.
That's a blooper reel.
We'll leave that one in. The body piercing podcast.
That's the next one.
All right. So, is there any areas in your business that you actually found easier than expected? Ones that you're like, I don't even know how to do that, and then you had to do it, and you're like, oh, this is so easy. Like, why was I freaking out about it?
Definitely the photography and sharing on social media has come. I mean, it's been a journey. I think doing some of the influencing jobs earlier has helped me with the presence for my business page. And learning how to speak on camera, doing stories. I love watching behind the scenes stuff. I love seeing how other brands even like store their stuff or make a piece of jewelry. So I do a lot of behind the scenes filming of me just packing things or how we wrap the order. And there's some of my followers that are really invested in those stories. They love watching, even coming to the podcast today. I thought I'll share about the journey, because it's kind of nice to see the full picture and the mad rush, before school drop off.
It's ridiculous.
It's not all glitz and glamour. There's a lot of preparing that goes into getting here.
A lot of
running, a lot of sweat. Good thing I put deodorant on today.
A lot of like reapplying makeup because you run to get somewhere.
And a lot of coffee.
So much coffee. And then the wine after the coffee. Great mums. Mum of the years right here.
We win.
Running on coffee, sweat and wine.
I go to sleep dreaming of my coffee in the morning. Like, actually, I'm excited to get up the next day because I know I'm going to make a really yum coffee. It is the fuel.
As I'm like walking to my bed at night, I'm just like looking at my pillow and I'm like, I love you. Just come to me. That's
where have you been?
Head on pillow.
My whole life.
And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, here we go.
Yeah, I know. I should have gone to sleep earlier. Why didn't I? Why did I watch Netflix? Why did I see the next season of Vikings? Day in the life.
I love it. So you have a product, which means there is a production process. You started by designing your own and using pieces, is that right? To sort of create them?
Yes.
But now you've just designed and created your first full from scratch sketches, everything.
From my little sketchbook.
Yeah, finally you're
my dream.
You truly have, and it's taken 2 years to do that. You had to start with putting the pieces together and I guess figuring out the production process.
Yes.
And now you've designed it. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the difference between the production process in the beginning when you were putting them together and then now from, actually I like the idea from sketches all the way through to like having them, like how do you even make your own jewelry?
So at the beginning, I guess I would call myself a bit of a treasure hunter. I went scouring, and I'm a bit of a treasure hoarder.
The treasure, where's my treasure?
And hence all the piercings, because I'm like, I need to wear my treasure. I'm product testing right now. I'm seeing how it wears. But I would go on hunts for treasure, and I got a lot of my gold filled jewellery from LA. And it was funny when I got it delivered, it's like from Chino, and I'm like, oh, it's from the OC. If you remember the OC. But so I would get all the little charms and all the findings and then hand construct, especially the huggies. And then I source pearls, like Australian pearls. So I'll do a lot of wire wrapping.
Is that what I'm wearing?
You are wearing some pearls from LA. And
I'm in the OC.
I know, you can be the OC girl. You do look a bit like Marissa.
I cannot be in the OC.
And then, just sort of have a bit of a play. So like some of them I would connect, like this one, it sort of has a bit of a pearl, more bohemian style. But because I'm in Melbourne, I do have a bit of a gritty edge as well, so a lot of spiked hoops and
that's like the perfect way to describe Melbourne. Gritty edge. Yes.
Yeah.
Premium with a gritty edge. Yeah.
There's always a bit of black coming into it, or a bit of luxe, like classic cuts as well. So I try to tap into those things that interest me. I like the look of. That production process, I guess, is a little bit more streamlined. My dream is eventually that I do the silversmithing and I literally hammer and fire in my house.
Wow.
Make it from scratch.
Is that like
but
a
that's
skill
a long-term
that you need,
5-year vision.
Is that like one of those skills that you...
Yeah, I need to get
the
trained.
first one, you're like, what is that? And then over years they become finer and finer, kind of like a tattoo artist. They get finer with their lines.
Yeah. I think I will have to do a silversmithing course. And... that process is more a dream, to actually physically be shaping the metal.
Wow.
For now, though, sketching it in my little sketchbook is been wonderful, and it's just working on the communication with the manufacturer. He's in Jaipur in the Pink City, which I hope to visit one day, and they've helped to make my dreams a reality in these
so you sketch
tiny
them
studs.
And then you send the sketches a hand sketch, or do you have to vector them?
So we'll convert it to a CAD file, and then we go back and forth, just refining even where stones are placed and the shape and the size. And
explain what a CAD file is for anybody who doesn't understand that.
So I guess it's a digital version of your drawing, and I think it's quite like a 3D. And it's good for the manufacturers to have. They can make it exactly the same every time.
So from the CAD file, did they create a mold?
Yes, he'll make a mold and then, just produce, I guess, the pieces. They have brass on the inside and then gold, which is bonded with heat and pressure. So that's how they do the gold filled jewellery. It's a lot thicker gold, but also the way it's attached to the metal is a lot more hardy. And then they polish it, refine it, and then it makes its way to me.
Does it come in pieces like before?
Yeah, so the ones I recently designed are flat back studs. And they're tiny little alphabets, so little letters. So I'm hoping people might want to stack, mix and match different letters or a word or your kids' initials or just something fun.
A little less commitment than a tattoo.
Yes. Exactly. It's your first step
your
to
boyfriend's
getting a tattoo.
Name, and then you break up with them, you just take it out.
So something fun and meaningful. And then my next collection, I'm actually drawing together pieces or special jewelry pieces from my Indian side of the family and Chinese side of the family. I'm getting them to send me lots and lots of images from Malaysia and Singapore, and hopefully it will inspire me to create a new collection using those images.
Amazing.
So I'll be sketching a lot the next few months. The process is a lot slower than being a treasure hunter.
Yes, it is. And I mean, that process can take what,
months and months. Yeah. And the back and forth and, checking the sample. And then, I had a hiccup where one of the types of earrings, the post was too thick. It wouldn't even go through.
Yeah.
So there is a few things you have to wear. Yeah.
Okay.
It's painful.
Yeah. And it's just time.
You just want it right. Yeah.
And you need it right because if you produce something, I'm exhausted, I'm just going to put this out there because I've paid money for the mold. I can't be bothered. But then you put it out there and one bad release can destroy your brand, which balances
destroy the relationship with the customer. And so I really want to uphold that quality as well. Make sure it's just right.
Yeah. And that's, by the way, that's what your branding is. So, with branding, it's every touch point of a product. It's from how you communicate with that love, with your love letter to every client, to the love that you put into every sample, to the intricacy into your treasure hunt ones. And that's your branding. It's love, really. Love and care. And then that translates to the person wearing it. They're giving themselves a little bit of love and care. So.
And it's so funny you say love and care because that's literally what my little care card has on it. It's like love and care, how to look after your gold filled jewellery. Because, I guess I want people, when they do purchase it, whether you bought 100 or you bought one, like you still want to know how to look after it so it lasts longer and you can enjoy it for longer and it's meaningful and special.
Love and care.
Love and care.
So this is a little bit of a random question, but I like to know what people would do.
Yes.
So if your brand was a person, which kind of is, walking to Parliament and you're just holding this placard, what would you put on this placard? And just like, what's your little riot?
Riot piece.
No, strike piece.
My strike piece.
What's your walk call? Your walk call.
Like in general life, like my statement in life.
Well, in life, but your brand. Like I think like every brand, like you think of it as a person because they clearly I'm just too attached to branding.
Yes.
But it's your brand.
Yeah.
If they are a person.
Yeah. I actually think I would like my placard to say, look outwardly. And I know that's kind of a bit odd because we are in this sort of self-love season where we look inward and we're wanting to improve ourselves on the inside, which is, there's a place and there's a part and it's very important, especially in mental health space. I think self-care is very, very important. But I also see the balance of we need to make sure that we also look outwardly away from our own self and be showing kindness to others or trying to understand their journey, their story, helping others, reaching out to others, supporting others. So that's probably one thing I've really felt strongly lately, whether we're living in a millennial life now. I mean, apparently I'm a millennial. I'm like 1986. We're 1986. Apparently we're millennials.
Oh, funny. You feel young
again. I know. It sounds so good. Are we all younger now?
I'm like one of the things. I don't know.
But and then I just felt very struck by just a lot of the messaging coming out that it's about being the best version of yourself, yes, but also not focus so much in, and then we're not even looking at how to be the best carer or kind-hearted person to others and being more community-minded. Yeah. So I think both could live together.
We do. We become very like in our own little selfish bubble of what is my life and it's all about me and then somebody
how
might
do
be
I better
having,
myself.
And somebody might be having a really bad day or that whole saying of hurt people and we're so easy to flick people off if they do something wrong. Yeah. But you have to sometimes look at them and say, why did you do that? Like, what are you going through right now, and how can I help pull you out of that? Because God, this world needs so much more kindness right now.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I feel like if every single person every day can just do like one kind act,
and
I feel like outwards. The mood of the world will hopefully just improve.
Yeah.
I don't know. The trees will grow faster, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. Through kindness.
Well, if you like talk to a plant.
Yeah, apparently
they grow. Yeah. I think, like somebody said, it's the carbon dioxide.
I know.
Like, you're
maybe
getting
this
all
podcast room, this plant here will be
This
like
plant's
thriving by the end of
thriving.
your...
There's so much carbon dioxide in this
episode.
room right now. And love. There's so much love.
So much love.
So in branding and in today's very crazy, noisy world, what marketing platform do you think has been your most successful or seen even your biggest return of investment?
Definitely by far it's Instagram for me. I find I get a lot of new followers or a lot of clicks coming through when you look at like the funnel. Shopify shows you the back end of how did people find your website, and majority coming through Instagram.
That's a good thing for people to know. So if you are a small business owner and you just happen to have your Shopify site, there is a tab that says analytics, and click on that and you can see a little bit of what's happening in the back end. Sometimes the web little worms, whatever they're called, they're picking up some really key information. You can see where your content's coming from, and then you know where to put more of your effort or your budget or your investment. So Instagram.
I think now that things are opening up as well, face-to-face has always been where I feel the most comfortable and chatting to people, hearing their stories, building relationship, community, and there was a really lovely lady I met at the Boho Lux market, and she said she had earrings that she'd been pierced with and she could not take them off. They'd been stuck in there. She'd had 3 doctors try and open them up and they could not get them off. So I got my little jewellery pliers out, took them out, and she was like over the moon. And then now she said, I'm wearing only your jewellery. She sort of loved the story and the heart behind it. It's safe for her to wear because it's hypoallergenic. And she's been like a really beautiful person that's come through just meeting face to face. I always think of her story.
Yeah, it's like I saved your ears.
Yeah, you were poor girl.
Committed to that earring.
So I think face to face is also a really effective time to get some connections. And if people know more than just what they see on Instagram, you can really build some great friendships.
The filter of social media. Yes, definitely. Gotta love that filter. I know. So if you could go back to the start and you knew everything you knew now, what would you do different to obviously saving time? Like obviously there was the import fees and that, but like what really would you do different? Is there like a chunk in the business growth that you would have avoided? Any advice that could help?
I actually was reflecting on this thought a few weeks ago when I was driving, because I thought it's amazing looking back now. I wanted so much to be a dietitian. I left home for it. But I also love being creative and designing this jewelry. It sounds so cliched, but I'm so happy to get to this point where I'm kind of doing both. I mean, at one point I feel I'm very split. I'm kind of being pulled side to side. So that's something I'll have to really reflect on and review how I'm going to sustain being both, because the jewelry business is growing.
And at what point do you
make the call and take the dive in? And I was reading Samantha Will's book of Gold and Dust, and just some of the things she wrote in there really resonated with me about her business, the growth and the change, and when it's time to really put yourself all in.
Do you have to put yourself all in though?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think we think that we got to do one thing in life, and you don't. You can do it all. But you do. It's about
I need to
finding
employ
that
some
balance.
minions to help me.
I mean, especially with admin. I mean, people like you will always be the designer for
I
a
love
while.
that part.
But,
that whole scaling thing and just what's the next step is probably what I am at the crossroads of. But I wouldn't change anything. I probably just... My dream is that I would have scheduled in more time to have days where I plan properly, maybe the year, when is the collections coming, my branding, website, like make sure everything is, the best it can be at the time. I'd probably do that a bit more. But apart from that, I think the organic way it's
It just-
rolled
yeah.
along.
And
I'm
if
really
you want
thankful.
both, like, you make that happen. Some people have
Yeah.
their full-time jobs and they're trying to start their business because they want to get out of
Yes.
like that career.
Whereas I love both. It's so...
And there's so many people that do run multiple businesses. And it's just
Yeah.
about that balance. And like I feel like it's feeding all of them just a little bit and
Yes.
they'll grow slowly rather than you can put all of, all of the feed into one and it'll grow faster.
Yeah.
But if you want both, like I was thinking like if you want it, get it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
and I love
feel like you
it.
have to choose.
Yeah, I'm so passionate about both. So
Yeah.
that's where it's at.
Okay, so a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up. So while we're on the marketing topic, which is about marketing your brand, it's about being seen, and it's changing so much. You said that Instagram is where your users are most.
Yeah.
TikTok is very much growing like
Yes.
drastically.
Oh, yeah.
It's I mean, I haven't figured it out,
No.
so I hope you do. But
No, well.
are you jumped on it
I've
yet?
dabbled in it just to see what's going on over there.
Did you get into it?
I get lost
into a
in
hole?
there. The other day, I
Throw a
was
hole.
watching the most randomest thing. It's like people buy a clam and then this lady will open it on camera and you'll see how many pearls you get. And it's so weird.
Like a real
it's popping
clam?
out pearls. Yeah, this massive clam. And it's... so strange, but I watched so many clams being opened.
And you're like,
there's
I
so
could
much
have done
random
some
stuff.
business admin in
I
this
know.
clam hole.
Like, what just happened to the last 20 minutes of my life? Maybe I should start popping pearls out of oyster shells and see what happens. But TikTok is still a mystery to me. I think
Is it
you blow up or you don't blow up. Like, that's what the kids say.
That's what the kids say. So how do you foresee marketing for your brand in the next 12 months? Like where are you going to put your focus?
So quite a number of events are coming up. I'll be going on the road to Adelaide to the Boho Lux Market and hopefully doing a few more face-to-face events. And then a piercing party.
And your media, which I completely forgot to mention in this podcast, but you were featured in Vogue.
Oh,
Do we have the magazine? No.
I didn't bring it. But
okay.
Vogue, that was another Instagram connection that I thought was a scam. I got the email from a Vogue sort of she's a consultant. I'm not even sure what you call her, the marketing lady. Yeah. And then I thought it was a scam. She rang me. She spoke to me for 45 minutes interviewing me about my business. And then she said, okay, you align with our readership. We would love to offer you a space. It's like this big. An eighth of a page. But I was so what?
Exactly.
And so my friend and I, in my backyard with a sheet, we took some photos to go into Vogue with an iPhone. Don't tell Vogue.
Exactly. So people think I need this massive shoot and it needs to be...
With our tripod.
Exactly. You can take... iPhone photos in your backyard for Vogue.
Yes, and we edited it on the free app, the Lightroom app.
Yeah.
So everything was done very thrifty, but it's in Vogue, it's in print, and then...
Just don't blow it up at billboard size. If it's little, you can do some stuff. Just don't... It's the idea is like, that hurdle. Like I always think like, how can I get over it? Like don't let things hold you back or make you think, you can't do it. And the fact that, the thing that comes out of that is your brand aligns with the readership of Vogue. Like that's awesome. That's such a win.
It was still quite a dream.
Your confidence even as a win. Yeah.
And even when I went to the shop to buy it, I was really still, even at that point, skeptical it was going to be there. Like I just didn't believe, but it was there. And then within 24 hours, Tatler in the UK emailed all of their people were bombarding me with emails saying, we want you in the UK Tatler magazines and then lots of other magazines over in the UK. So we ended up being in Tatler for 3 months in a row and being, I guess, shown with other amazing brands that I look up to. Like I don't even know why I'm on the same page, but it was just really awesome to see a glimpse of that side of marketing. It's a whole new world for me.
Maybe that's an avenue to keep exploring. All right, and the last question before we wrap this beautiful first podcast up is when things are a little bit quiet, what do you do to draw attention to your brand to just kind of make those sales? Because you need sales to
After I whinged to my husband about, oh my goodness, I invested in this and no one, going down that woe is me, hurdle. And then he said, remember yesterday you were having a great day? I was like, oh yeah. I think I try and stop myself from doing too many discounts and sales. I want to really keep them exclusive and not too often. Yeah. I want to still make people value.
You don't want to discount what you've done.
What you're receiving, yeah.
I feel there's a bit of a wave in that with small businesses that people are putting a lot of effort in. And there was one trend going through one of the songs. It's like, it takes me fucking ages. And this is why. And they did the whole reel. And it's like, this is why you pay for my stuff. Discounting it. It's fun, every now and then.
But for a special occasion. But I've, this week, I offered my VIP. So the email subscribers, I sent them a little gift voucher to spend in the shop. Or I might say, okay, free shipping, or I do a few small business giveaways with other like-minded businesses. We might give something to a winner just to build some brand awareness, traction, just try and really chat, on stories, be more present. I find when I'm on there more and engaging with the customers on social media, then they come.
You get it.
And I have worked with a few influencers. The
algorithm kind of likes it, though. I think the more time you spend on it, the more people see. But you got to give a lot to Instagram.
It's very time consuming.
You got to comment on the stories, really engage, make connections. I think it's like give, take.
Yes. And even I've done a few where I'll have the stickers like polls. So you might choose, okay, do you love white gold or gold? And just get people tapping and having a bit of a game, a play on the actual account can bring some
helping
traction.
You make your decisions along the way.
Yeah. So getting some market research. But try not to get too woe is me. Just try and take it as this is a breather and there's ebbs and flows.
Yeah, there is.
In the
ebbs
year
and flows
as well.
in business.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm a huge fan of your jewellery and I'm definitely going to be at your piercing party. Yeah. Not sure how many piercings I'll get or wear. We'll see.
Whatever you need, she can do.
But Natasha Wilton is honestly a true inspiration, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, to... Okay, I put you in the mum basket and I shouldn't because I don't like that basket either. But it's to mums who just have that jam-packed life and having kids is hard work and you always kind of get clicked back into reality because they're the number one and you're always giving. And, she's, an example of she's done it. She started a brand 2 years ago. It's beautiful. She's learnt the business along the way. It's clear that the support that you've had, it wasn't like a huge investor or a really famous person. It was the support of your family and your friends, and support can come in those ways as well because it gives you that confidence to keep going. And without it, you can you could have given up if you didn't have somebody pushing
in my corner.
Exactly.
It's been wonderful.
Thanks for having you again. So go on to her website, which the new website will be a refresh coming soon.
There's a bit of revamp coming.
Yep. So Natasha is actually going to be offering a bit of a discount code to the listeners who have gotten to this stage of the podcast.
Yes. Well done.
Well done. Yay.
Nice to have you here still.
Nice to have you here still. So you can introduce your discount.
Yes. So for those that are listening, I'd love to gift you with a bit of a treat. So you can use it on my website, bynatasha.wilton.com, and the code is TRUTH. And you'll get 15% off on your order. And feel free to message me if you have any questions or you want some help to choose if you have you want a curated ear stack or something like that. We can always chat and make it very personalised to you.
Great. So
enjoy.
Truth at 15% off.
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you are listening to this podcast and you would like to see the beautiful jewellery and the beautiful Natasha, then jump onto YouTube. You can click through the website or through the Linktree links in Instagram and you can see the display and watch us have a little bit of a chat and a giggle.